In this video for OpenBuildings Designer Connect Edition Mechanical Modeling HVAC Systems, we'll take a look at modeling various configurations of air terminals. In my model here, I have some slot diffusers, I've got wall diffusers, I've got some jet nozzle diffusers, floor diffusers, and multi-port plenum boxes. So we'll see how we use our data group dimensional parameters to create these various air terminals. Each type of diffuser is a catalog item with properties inherent to its type. Various configurations of air terminals can be modeled using the specific item's properties. When placing air terminals in the model, we have placement options available, including a base offset to locate the diffuser, a specific Z elevation within the model. And then we'll also see how the terminals have placement options for justification. So I'm in my model here. I have my architectural model referenced. I'll come to the mechanical tab in the ribbon interface and choose air terminals from the Place Mechanical Systems group. Our property panel opens up. I've got mine docked over here on the left. I see the catalog type is showing subgroup diffuser grills. And below that, I have a list of catalog items. So our various air terminal catalog items we can choose from this list. The first one I'll place will be a square ceiling flat diffuser with an oval connection on the side. And I'll configure this so that it's a linear slot diffuser. So I'll come to my catalog items list. One feature of this list when we open it is the capability to search. So for example, if I search for oval, we see how it filters this list for us and gives me results for the names that include oval. I'll be using this diffuser, square ceiling, flat oval connection, square diffuser side. So I choose that catalog item. I see my preview here, and it's showing me the default properties for this particular catalog item. Below here is the data group values. So for example, I'll set my construction phase to new construction. And then we see these parameters starting with the connection and diffuser parameters. These are all the dimensional aspects that we can adjust as we place our component. The ribbon interface has changed to show me my placement options. In this case, I'll choose the bottom left placement point. I have part family orientation, size, and shape turned off in this example, but I will set a base offset to be 10 feet. So that will set my bottom left point of my air terminal 10 feet from the ground floor, which I have set in my floor selector. And if I get zoomed into the model here, you see how the air terminal is on my cursor, but it's offset by that base offset of 10 feet. Over in the property panel, I'll adjust my dimensions here. For the connection width, I'll change it to 6 inches. For the depth, I'll change it to 3. Notice in the preview how we see it changing as we adjust our numbers here. For the grill type, I'll set it to be number 2 bars. Right above the grill type is this auto size property. Notice it's grayed out. If I click in there, this drop-down arrow is revealed, and we can open that up and choose the auto size options from there. So this is where we can set our options for our particular grill type. So we see in the grill options that I'm setting it for bars. I'll set the number of slots to 1, and the thickness I'll set to 1/4 of an inch and select OK. I'll set my grill width and grill depth. My grill width will be 36. I'm using the Tab key on my keyboard to accept those changes, my grill depth will be 4 inches. So I'm getting this more as a linear diffuser here. My grill thickness, I'll set to 1/4 of an inch. The box height, I'll set to 8 inches. Notice how the width and depth are grayed out. Those are being handled by a formula within the software, taking the other parameters to set those parameters for me. I'll set the box border here to be 0 in this case. And for the box top border, I'll set that to 0. My connection length will be 2 inches. I'll set my throw pattern to be blank in this case. And my airflow rate, I'll set to 140 cubic feet per minute. My outlet pressure, I'll set to 0.25. Now, again, we see it on the cursor. I'll come out to my view 2, which is in a top orientation, and I'll place one right here in this area of this retail grocery space of this project. And then a right click to say I'm done with the tool. And I want that connection to be facing the other way, so I'll simply do a rotate. Right press on my mouse with my element selection tool, select rotate. I'll say rotate about element center 180 degrees. Another left click to accept that. Then we can always copy these if we need to. I'll say copy. Let's say I make 4 copies of it. And I'll pick my point, use AccuDraw, lock my axis, and let's say I go 4 feet. Left click to accept it. Here we can see in view 1, which is an isometric orientation, how I've got those 5 slot diffusers. Now, as I placed those, my family in part was set to diffuser supply new. Now we'll look at some other catalog types. I'll go back to the air terminals tool. This time I want to place those wall diffusers we saw. Come to my catalog items list. Go ahead and filter it, typing in wall. And I want this one square wall round connection, square diffuser top. Notice our placement options here. I'll set this base offset to be 8 feet instead of 10. And I'll come change some of these dimensional parameters again. I'll set my construction phase to new construction. For the connection diameter, I'll set that to 10. I'll set the grill type to be number 5, star. Again, if we look at the auto size options here, I can see showing me star, number of slots. I could change this. Say OK. You can rotate this. Preview with the view tools that we've got up here in the preview. So you start seeing how that changed the grill types there. So for the grill width and depth, I'll leave it 24. The grill thickness, this time will be 4 inches. And the box height will be 0. Notice the width and depth, again, are being calculated for me. Box border 1. Top border 1. The connection length is 2 inches. Again, I'll set the throw pattern to be blank here. And again, we'll set our airflow rate and our outlet pressure. And again, we see the catalog item on our cursor. It's 8 feet offset. Place this in this wall over here. So I'll snap onto the midpoint of the wall in the reference file here with a tentative snap. Left and right mouse button together. I'll left click to accept it, and then I'll come in and rotate that diffuser. Again, with my right press on my mouse, I'll select rotate. I want this one to go 270 and about element center. So I'll left click to accept it, or right click to end that operation. Come back over here to my top view and take a look at it. I'll move it into the wall. So what I'll do is choose this corner, move, select my start point for my move, using AccuDraw, pressing N to lock, to set my snap mode to nearest, and then a right click. Once again, if I want to copy these, Let's say I make 2 copies in each direction. I'll just pick a point. Again, AccuDraw, enter to lock the axis. I'll go 4 feet in this direction. And then again, copy. I'll make 2 copies, setting that in my tool settings. Using AccuDraw. The next one I'll model is the multi-port plenum box. Air Terminals tool. Go to my catalog items list. Again, I'll filter my search down here. I'll use this one, plenum box multi-port round top. You can see the default configuration here. New construction for my phase. And I'll set these dimensional parameters. For the width, I'll go 36. For the depth, 10. The diameter will be 8. You can see how it changes up here in the preview. And then for my plenum box parameters, I'll set the box height to be 8. Box width 36, depth 10. Number of ports I'll set to 3, port offset 2. Now, notice these 2 options right here. I can say connection on the left side, I'll go ahead and say yes. And connection on the right side, yes. And then you can see how it's added those connections on the side up here. Finally, I'll put the airflow rate again. And I'll just place these out in the model. Come over to my view 2, which is in the top orientation. And I'll place a couple of these. So keep in mind, we're just kind of looking at different options on air terminals here. And I'm just placing them out in the model here. Next, I'll do the jet nozzle. I'll select jet. And I'll choose this one, jet nozzle flat panel, flat side. Set my construction phase. I'll leave the thickness at 1.25. The panel width I'll change to 36. The panel depth, I'll leave it 10.5 for thickness. Jet size 3. Jet distance 3.5. Jet length, I'll change this to 1.75. Notice the change in the preview up here. Now here's where I can set the number of rows and number of columns. So I'll leave number of rows at 1, and I'll set number of columns to 4, so I get 4 of those jet nozzles on this panel. I'll set my airflow rate. Maybe this one would be something like 80. Outlet pressure again, 0.25. And I'll leave these other ones as the default. So once again, if I want to place this in the wall, I'll come over. I'll do a tentative snap onto the wall, left and right mouse click together. I'll do the rotate, similar to what I did to the wall terminals. Right click to say I'm done. So there it is. And if I want to copy this one, similar to what I did, say I make 2 copies in each direction. And this time I'll go 4 feet again. And I'll do 2 in this direction. Finally, I'll model some floor diffusers. Back to my air terminals tool. This time I'll place the base offset at 0. Come to my catalog items. I'll go ahead and type in floor. And the one I want to use is this round floor, round diffuser. See the preview there. Construction phase, new construction. And I'll adjust my dimensional parameters. So I'll make the connection 6 inches. The body cone height, I'll leave at 5. The body cone diameter, I'll set at 8 3/4. Body cone top diameter, I'll set to 7. Connection length, I'll put it 0. The grill type, again, I'll use the star. Then the grill diameter, I'll go 9 3/4 of an inch. You start to see what I'm arriving at up here in the preview. The grill thickness, 1/4 of an inch. Airflow rate, outlet pressure. And I'll just come over again to my top orientation here, and I'll place some floor diffusers. Use my AccuDraw here just to continue placing. Let's say I go 10 feet. And then I'll go this direction, enter, 10 feet, and this direction. Enter, 10 feet. So by using my data group dimensional properties, I'm able to get these different configurations of various air terminals for utilization in your models. Thanks a lot for watching.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you want to see more such series, consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you, and see you next time.